Hi Crafty folks, and welcome back to my channel. It's the 11th, so it's Embellishments on the 11th today. Now I'm actually recording this on the 10th in preparation for tomorrow. I've been running around like a headless chicken today. I don't know where the last month has gone, to be honest. It doesn't seem like 5 minutes since I was last showing you the embellishments that I'd made. But here we are again, and normally I don't work Monday and a Tuesday, but unfortunately I've swapped my days this week so that I am working the Tuesday, and I'd completely forgotten. So that's left me with today to make and then film everything. So yeah, on the back foot as per usual. I'm looking forward to next week when I've got a little bit of time off, and I'm hoping to get ahead of myself, but we'll see if that actually happens. So what you're looking at here is scraps. So I think I showed you last month the little box that I'd got up on one of the sides of my craft room that I popped my scraps in, thinking, gosh, that's a lot of scraps, I've got quite a few. Well, I found another drawer that was absolutely chock-a-block full of paper scraps. I can't bring myself to throw them away because I sort of go through them and think, oh, it's really pretty and there's enough there to do a bit of something with. So I have sectioned them all off into Polly Pockets. So I've sort of put all the like colours and like specialty papers and all that sort of thing together, one with all the wood grains, which I didn't think I'd got any scraps of wood grains, but turns out I've got a whole folder full of them. Yeah, it's bonkers. So I have tried to use my scraps as much as possible in this month's embellishments, which is good because it's made a start on some of my scraps, but it's a small dent, but hey ho. So I will just get rid of all of this and I will show you what I've made this month. Okay, so kicking off the show, as you can see, I've made some bows. So I've gone for this a sort of colour scheme throughout this month's embellishments. So to start with, I've gone for this really beautiful red and cream and green floral paper. So I've made the bows out of white glitter foam, and that I think is why it keeps sending the camera a bit funny, because when it catches the light it makes the camera strobe a little bit, because it's filming in the night time again. So that's the bigger one. So the base bit, like I say, I've done out of glitter foam, and that just helps it to sort of keep its shape even in the post. And I mean, they will flatten, they will squash at the end of the day. They are just paper and foam, but I find they keep the shape better if you make the base layer out of the foam. And then I've layered over it the patterned paper. It's got a little red band and then this really lovely multifaceted bling centre. So there's a large one and then there are two of the smaller bows, which I just thought they were really, really pretty. I like the little ditzy sort of pattern on it. And then I went with this set, which the sort of inspiration behind these was Wedding Day. And you'll see as I show you some of the other embellishments that I've sort of taken that inspiration throughout this little set for one of the colour schemes, and two in the smaller size. And these ones have got the pearl centres. It's got a little bit of hot glue on it. Take that off. So with the centres, I tried to find things that sort of I could graduate down in size, but with these ones I couldn't. So I'd put two on the larger and then just the one on the smaller bows. And this one's got a really pretty pink paper with almost like it's like a blossom pattern on top of it. And that's really pretty. And then I've used a little bit of the Crafter's Companion Centura Pearl to make the little band out of. Now they're really pretty just with those bands, to be honest, because the Centura Pearl almost looks like a leather strap for the band. So that's the bows that I've made. I'll just get the other bits. So these are embellishment number 2. I made some little shoes. So these are the wedding shoes. Little hard to get them in the light. So the front of them is embossed. I used a white embossed card to make the front bit. That was actually part of a greetings card, and I liked the embossed section on it, so I kept it. And then it's got a little white bow made out of a pearlised linen sort of look cardstock with a little gem in the centre. And then I used this lovely gold and white spot pattern for the sort of inner sole part of it. And then it's got the little strap, the ankle strap matches the embossed paper on the bottom. So I made a pair of those. I made a glitzy evening pair for when you go out dancing. And they're made obviously with the black glitter paper. They've got the tiny, tiny little red and white patterned paper that was on the bows. And I've used that to make these tiny little bows with a little red bling in the centre. And then the inner soles on this one are red, but again, it's like a textured cardstock, which just adds a little something extra to that part. And then the sparkly black ankle straps. And then we've got an everyday pair, which is this really pretty floral. Again, it's the one with the little cherry blossoms. And I made little sort of vellum bows for these ones, and little tiny pearl flowers that I'd got in my stash to be the bow centres on those. And again, the little ankle straps. Now, if the ladies are wearing fancy shoes, then it's only fair that we let the gents have a pair. So for his wedding, this is what my gentleman's going to be wearing. He's got his size 10s, and these are his fancy black smart shoes to wear to his wedding, complete with little laces. For the night out on the tiles dancing, he's got this fancy pair, and they are almost sort of like a patent look on the black, but also on the cream, which I'm struggling to get it to focus on that. I don't think you can pick that up, but that's sort of pearlised and that sort of patent look to it as well. And then every day you need a sensible pair of brogues for taking your lady for a countryside stroll. So we've got our brown brogues there with the little laces again. So that's what our ladies and gents are wearing on their feet. So the ladies have got to have a beautiful frock to wear. And so this is the next embellishment on my list. So little die cut dresses. So I've made a pretty red and white one to go dancing in. And I've just added a little bit of trim at the bottom there. I've inked all the edges in Candied Apple, the red ink there. Made a little belt with a scrap of the paper and just put a tiny little gold heart. The little bodice is cut from the same paper that I used to cut the inner sole on the shoes. Oops. The day dress, this really pretty pink, sort of reminds me of a sort of 50s style dress with the beautiful floral skirt, again with a little bit of trim at the bottom there, a little handmade flower and a little bit of greenery on there. And I layered two of the tops together so that you'd got the pretty pink blossom paper underneath, but then you've got this sort of white sort of almost t-shirt type top over the top of that, and again a little belt in matching paper. And then we made a wedding dress. I really like this one. So this is again the pleated skirt. There's a bit of trim round the bodice there, a big bit of flouncy trim on the bottom, and matching this trim here and this trim here match around the bottom of the skirt. I put a vellum underlayer so that it wasn't just the sort of strappy bit. And then I found this really pretty pearl bow in my stash, which I've used for the top of the dress. And of course, if she's getting married, she's going to need to have a little bouquet. So there's her little flower bouquet to go with her dress. And then finally, if I just move these to one side for a moment, I also made some fans. Again, it was just a die that I'd got in my stash, and I thought it was really pretty, and I could make it sort of match the theme. So this is the pale pink one. You can see it's got beautiful rose patterned paper, some sheer trim up the top there. I've recut the bottom part of the fan in gold, and then put a little bit of gold bling, and again a little bit of trim around there. The red one, very similar, just using a red and white rose pattern paper and a dark red organza trim around the top. And then I've got some really pretty gold trim here, which is, that's really sort of delicate looking. And then little red rhinestones all in there and one in the centre. And then for the wedding one, we went obviously all white. So that's white glitter card that the actual fan's cut out of, with a white organza trim behind it and a bit of white sort of pretty trim just on the edge there. Pearls all around the handle, and that really beautiful sort of diamondy bling in the centre. So as I say, I did sort of make them as I was going along. They all sort of coordinated. So we've got a wedding set, which is, if I show you them in sets, so you've got the shoes, the fan, the wedding dress, and the bows, which I just thought were really pretty. So you could use those on cards or on packaging, and I just thought they were really, really pretty and something a little bit different. I've had the shoe dies in my stash for ages. And other than cutting them out to put them in my little catalogue, I've not used them. So I thought it might be nice to get them out and have a play. So these were the ones for going out in the evening. She's got her fancy shoes there. And there's his smart daps. And we've got the bows that match. So again, really beautiful. I think that it's hard to pick a favourite because I love the wedding ones as well, but I think I love the pop of red on these ones. I just think they're really vibrant, and yeah, I love those ones. So that was that set, and then the final set was our pretty daytime in the country set with all the pretty pinks and the brown brogues. And there we go. Oop, can't see them. Not all up a bit too high. There we are. So that's what I made this month for Embellishments on the 11th. Now don't forget that this is a hop, so there will be lots of other ladies who have participated in this monthly hop, and they will have made some fantastic things for us all to go and have a look at as well. I know I'm looking forward to it. So all the links for that will be in the description box below this video. I'll pop some photos at the end of this so that you can get a closer look at the things that I've made. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed having a look at what I've made, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon, because then you'll get a notification each time I upload a new video. If there's any of these things that you'd like me to make so that you can see them putting them together, do leave a comment in the comment section below. They are all pretty much all from dies that I've got in my stash. A lot of them are from either Amazon or Ali or eBay or somewhere like that, and I don't know if they're still available, to be honest. Some of them I've had for quite some time, but I'm quite willing to put them together so that you can see how I did them. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Do go along and see all the other ladies, and I will be back very soon for another crafty video. Bye for now.